not easy being me. Alright, and what do I call this? Of Mongol walls, samurai, and makeshift walking sticks, I guess. So it turns out that my local dinky post office, sometimes I'll just leave something at your door, but these days they want a, I don't know, a signature or something. And they used to, there would be 8 minutes walk to the post office. You get this piece of paper thing to tell you, oh, one of these sort of TVs that will tell you, hey, you know, you weren't here, so come and pick it up at the post office. Now they've changed the system, obviously. So instead of walking 8 minutes down to the local dinky post office, it's like an hour and 20 minutes walk away. So I was like, I know with it. What I'll do, oh, the Mongol wall. So I'll walk down that way, 120 minutes, and I figure, oh, I'll just come back via the tourist sort of region. Yeah. So that's what we're gonna have to do. So there you go. So it's a Tuesday. Hey, on any Tuesday, that's what I do. This is the zero no alcohol beerloo. So that's what that is, and that's the Mongol wall. See, old dudes, they jog everywhere around here. I tell ya, doing that job in Australia, like 6 months of being a driver, so I've got to check my battery thing here. Being a driver, I tell you, like, for my size, I lost about 5 kilos. Now for some, that ain't nothing. That's a trip to the powder room. But for me, that's a lot. And so it's like, I'm like, whoa, okay, what I'll do then, if that's the case, I'm just gonna do, I'll walk a lot, right? And so, when I'm in Japan at least. And so, yeah, doing that job as a driver, I became so feeble. Yeah, you lose muscularity and muscle mass, and for me 5 kilos of muscle mass, that's a bloody lot. So I thought, right, now one of the greatest exercises you can do for low impact type of thing, isn't it great? When I was walking from over there, walking in, you see the islands. Anyways, like, you could get a better perspective of it, a view of it. Anyways, and so you low impact exercise, and with walking it exercises everything. You don't blow out your knees being a jogger or whatever, and it's low impact, and that's, I reckon that's sort of the best. Look at those dudes running around Africa for 40,000 years or a million years or whatever, fit dudes, right? And they go for real long distance, you know, those dudes that go for real long distances or whatever. So I reckon walking, because it exercises, yeah, like pretty much every muscle, it's great. It's just really good stuff, and that's what I'm just gonna have to do, because if I'm gonna have to do this in regularity, walk down the post office or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, getting back to my walking thing, so that's good. And get back to some formulation of exercise, which is something I just didn't do when I was in Australia. I just lived on salt and vinegar crinkle cut potato chips. I'm serious. Maybe that's why I lost a fair bit of weight. But yeah, as a driver, you lose so much physicality, you know. I might be fast now due to being lighter, but endurance and muscle and strength, I'm still fast, but you know, I've lost that, so feeling a bit sort of wonky. So that's gonna be all right. So I reside in general at the ranch is around that bend way over there, so that's the plan. All right, so we just had to you don't exactly walk down the street with that's what I have to do. So someone sent that to me, so I have to waltz down the road with that. So I figure it might be a good idea if I leave the Yubin Kyoku stickers on it. That's the postal stickers on it. So it doesn't look like I'm too much of an old Kashi gaijin, a strange gaijin. There you go. So that's just the way it is. It's just the way it's going to have to be. Let's have a look at the Mongol wall while we're at it. Oh, I'm running out of battery power. I've got a few extras in the backpacky majiggy. So we'll just have to, oh, there's some of those bugs. I noticed down there was this really big heavy cat, and there's a spot over there where these old ladies would come along and feed them every day. I reckon they must be doing that. All the cats are eating these bugs because he's well fed. Maybe he's eating those ducks or whatever over there. Alright, so this is the Mongol wall. Once again, we meet again. And it was built a long time ago, and then they rebuilt it and put it back together. Some of the stones are not the original, but some are, like them. So this went for 20 kilometers, something like that, to try to stave off the Mongolian invasions. And this is what these blokes are about. All these chaps up here with this sort of thing, and with all kinds of bows and arrows and thingy-majiggies, and Uma-san's horses, and there's Naginata right there, and that bloke's got a Yumi bow, all kinds of cool stuff. So there you go. Now, before this battery runs out, it's right on the limits of red. The scroll of the Mongol invasions, Moko Shurai Ekotoba. There you go. This scroll is said to have been painted between the late 13th century and the early 14th century. The scenes show a heroic action in battle of a Japanese warrior, Suenaga Takezaki, who came from Higo against the two-time Mongol invasions of Japan. Wow, there you go. One of the battle scenes of the Koan, 1281, represents the stone wall along the beach of Ikinomatsubara. This is Ikinomatsubara. And while the Japanese warriors from Higo, who built the stone wall, are guarding on the wall, Suenaga, I'm trying to see this battery thingy-majiggy, Suenaga Takezaki and his troops on horses are broadly riding towards east. The scroll is shown here in nearly original size from acknowledgement of the Imperial Household Agency. There you go. Now, they built this part in March 2000, the Board of Education of Fukuoka City. There you go. Isn't that rad? So this went for many miles, and these samurai dudes would hang out here and drink sake and talk about having a bit of a punchy poos with the blokes that might come over and want to have a bit of a punchy poos. So there you go. See, I should be one of those that I should work at a museum or something. These blokes decide to have a punchy poos with these blokes. See, that's what I should do for a job. Anyways, right, so I'm going to head back to the ranch over that way. And yeah, the day's pretty much fruit tingled. But that's alright, I'll find something to do. And I guess on the morrow, what I'm going to do is restart my thingy-majiggy online internet-y thingo. Because I had to pay a big chunk of change to get that all up and running again. So that's that, and try and get all that up and running and up to speed. As I estimated it'll take a couple of weeks to sort of get up to speed, so that's cool. Didn't expect I'll be doing this today. I was like, hey, what the hey, it's a part of the exercise regime. Maybe that's not the right word, but it's a part of that. So an inclusion of that, so I'm okay with it. Yeah. Ooh, there we go, big stalky. Look at that. doing these stalky thingamajiggies. All right, so I'm gonna change the battery on this thing. That's what I do. A whole bunch of stuff I could say because I hardly ever shut up. But hey, it's all going to plan. You see, this particular plan. How's this? I've been sober, yakisoba. I've been sober for it's yucky sober. It doesn't taste good. So these don't taste very good. The Australian Great Northern, even the zeros. I've never tasted the real deal one. The zeros, I'd love to import those, man. God, they taste good. Tastes like real beer, but you don't get pissed. I don't know why they like these kind of dogs. But hello. Ichua, hello. Namae wa? Ucha. Pucha. All right. Yeah, there he is. He's doing that thing. いい場所ね。涼しそうね。まだまだ暑い。そうよ。そうね。はい。Bye bye. Right then. So I'm gonna these thingy-majiggies. About a year, and I've been off the boozer for about a year and 3 months. How's that? This bloke. Actually, I'll change the battery now and just have a bit of a babble like I usually do. Hang on. Okay, change that battery. That's cool. That particular thingy-majiggy, we'll just have to call it. That's going to be going to the Great Southern Land, and I'll be able to say that it's actually been to the Mongol War. That's pretty cool. Yeah, look at this, the zeros. I'll tell you what, if that company, the Great Northern Beer Company, yeah, they should contact me and say, hey, yeah, I'd get behind it. How about we send our booze to Japan, or and the zeros. I mean, the zeros, there's quite a market for zeros these days, but this tastes like it doesn't taste so good, the zero Asahi. Now, I drank the real deal Asahi for decades. I kept the company afloat. I've drank so much, enough to kill 10 African bull elephants and 17 rhinos. I mean, that's real. I mean, butter, I tell you, God. I drank enough to fill all of that. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, the Great Northern Zero tastes just like real beer, and I should know. And yeah, I tell you what, I reckon there'd be a great market for that. Someone out there, contact them and say, hey, there's this awesome bloke living in Japan saying, you know what, you could make a killing out of sending, and selling that stuff in Japan. Yeah, because that tastes like and the difference, I mean, if you could, like the cans, that was a good deal. You get the cans at the supermarkets. Try it yourself when you're in Australia. Go to your local Woolies and Richie's, they have it. And they have it in the cans. Now, a lot of the other places have it in the bottles, but you don't get enough. You don't get as much. Try it when you're in Oz. Grab the Great Northern Zeros and just drink that for a year. Change your life. How about this? There's this bloke, an English bloke, and he's having his sobriety binge, and he's talking about him being an alcoholic, and he went 28 days, and then he goes, I relapse. And here's his excuse. Check this out for an excuse. He goes, I had anxiety because I had a doctor's appointment. In Australia, when we're at a sporting event or something like that, and an umpire makes a bad call, a referee umpire, makes a bad call, we say bull, like all in unison. There'd be 1,000 people saying bull, goes on like that. Bullshit. So here's this bloke on the net there, and he's got quite a following now, people cheering him on, and he goes, oh, got anxiety because I had to go to the doctor. I don't like being around people. You know, what a bullshit excuse, right? Just a bullshit excuse. And you know, there's quite a number of people now, when they went through all that bullshit time, when the world went stupid because of bad people that created it. See, I'm still suppressed. 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 The suppression, you know, the censorship of, you know, my YouTube channel was going, and then I started talking about real political stuff, and it just went and just flatlined. So, like so many people, but I don't give up. I don't give up. I just don't give up, because I know who runs the show. Anyways, and I don't much care for them. Anyways, you get all these clown heads saying, the young people going through that, saying, oh, I don't like being around people, I'm agoraphobic, or whatever, agoraphobic or some bull, you know, and I just stay home because I might have to talk to somebody or something like that. Yeah. Anyways, so this bloke, this English bloke, he's back on the sober train again, apparently, you know, but I don't have a whole lot of faith in him right now. No, I scribed on the thing there, because he's going, oh, I'm going to the gym, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm made to the gym. I say, just like Rich Piana said, the gym is freaking boring, man. Gym is boring. It's antisocial, it's boring, it's boring. It's good for you, but it's boring, right? So I say, get in and become a fan of motocross or something. Go to a race, or get involved. You know, do something that's cool, exercise, social, you know, and it's good for you. And it's cool, right? So a lot of people are struggling with the booze, but they're not taking steps that are really good, that are real, you know. So I say there are other elements for it. Or anyways, about a year and 3 months to this day, it was a little bit more, I guess, I said, you know what, I'm gonna imagine if I can get up from here, you know, because I've been struggling for years, and just the attack of life, because the filth rule the world. But anyways, I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I just put down the booze for a while, right? Meanwhile, I dragged back the max of what's legally, because the owners of the universe says so. They say so. I brought back 3 bottles. It's legal to bring back 3 bottles of booze with a max of 900 milliliters, 700 milliliters. So I brought back 3 bottles of Bundy Rum with 700 mil, right? So they made it back intact. Just stuffed all these underwear all around it. Stuffed all stinky underwear all around them, you know, in the backpack. So I dragged them back. Anyways, can't wait to crack them. But anyways, about a year and 3 months ago, or whatever, I go, right, what do I need to do to sort of structure, what structure do I need to get to where I need to be? Now, I could just kill myself and not have to worry about anything anymore. Yeah, there's that. You've always got that option. So, you know, I've always got that. But I figured, you know what, I might as well give it a go, this life shit. And so surely I can achieve what I want out of life at this stage in life. I'm 55 now. I've done all kinds of awesome shit. Yeah. Yeah, there's some more shit that I want to do. Then I can top myself. That's okay. Are you allowed to say that? Are you allowed to even say that? Maybe the people that own the universe say that you can't say that. Yeah. Anyways, there's some more things that I want to do, right? Regardless of the attack. The constant attack. Oh, no, that's my colour, you see, so many of us got attacked. But things are turning around, things are changing. Things are coming back to sensible land again, because insensible land wasn't working too good. Yeah. Anyways, so I figure, alright, I'll give it a go, see what I can do. And so I set out some goals and plans, things that need to be done in order to make that happen. And Kalasu is down there. There he goes. I can hear him. There he goes. Hang on. Do I know that one? Anyway, so a year and 3 months ago, I figured, all right, now it's gonna take sobriety. All right, that's a integral component of a necessary component for the master plan. All right. Now, there's certain things I want to do. I want to have fun. True. I want to protect myself, because I never did. In youth, I was like, oh yeah, tomorrow will be fine. But back in Australia, when I was young, just like, you didn't like your job, or you have a shit boss, or, F this, you just go, leave, you have another job in the same day, start on the next day, it was like that. And so things kind of were that mentality of, oh yeah, tomorrow's going to be fantastic, tomorrow's going to be fine, never going to have to worry. Not exactly the case. So I would say that you got to be instrumental in thinking about how can you protect yourself, because I never protected myself financially or just physically. God, it's amazing I'm still alive, to be honest. That's no joke. Even though I'm giggling. I'm feeling a lot of pain, I must admit. Like, I'm going to feel it if I ever do get old, because I'm kind of like, that's one of my strategies, that I don't want to get old, right? F that. Because, God, I'll be hurting. My shoulder, for example, just hurts. Just like leaning on the bench thing while I'm doing computery stuff. God, my lower back. God. But, yeah. Anyways, so I've got a lot of plans of, of having fun, but still got to look after yourself too. So there's all these ideas that I've got, and I'm putting it into motion. So certain things I have to do to secure myself in order to do the shit I want to do. Right? So that's where I'm kind of at. Yeah. That's where I'm going at. If I fail, I don't care, because I've won, like, in life. I've won. I've already won. Some bird said to me something years ago, and I go, well, I've already won. Time is just gravy for me now. There's another stalky. Yeah, there are things I want to do. There's still some things I want to do. That's true. As I walked into this shoe store today, as you can see, they're a bit rough. So, bloody rough these are. And they had 27 size. They had 28 size, but not my size. Right in the middle there. It's gonna happen. That's another goal. Getting some new. See, baby steps. Getting some new shoes. That's a big deal for me. Getting a pillow. That's a big deal. Sleeping on something that doesn't hurt. That's these incremental steps. But there's so many components. All these minor and major components that I need to put together. And laugh all the way through it while I'm doing it, and putting the infrastructure together, a solid foundation of an infrastructure of what I need in order to achieve some certain goals. If I don't get there and I don't achieve them, so be it. If I just die now, I'm okay with it. Commit harikiri with that. With the walking stick. Now, the improvised walking stick. So that's where I'm at. Right, let's get back to that bloke that there's a few chaps out there that go, oh, I'm on this sober train. You know, I put up, you know, over a year ago, how to get sober. You know, and it's bloody easy. All you got to do, I showed it, all you got to do is just go with it. That's how you do it. That's it. I'll show you again in case it's a bit difficult to understand. You go like this and you go. That's what you do. It's that easy, you know. And you know, the thing is with booze, you kind of got to. You get, when something goes wrong in life, which I've done it thousands of times, it's just forget that problem, don't want that problem, just beeline to the booze at the supermarket or whatever and get wasted. You know, it's that easy. But the thing is, the problems accumulate, and so if you work on these problems, just small problems, incremental problems, I like that word, incremental, and just, alright, I just need to get this component and fix this and fix that and fix that, and every single day, which is very important, get something done. You know, like this very last evening I had to get some tax forms from Australia sent over to me because I'm going to sort out that bullshit. That's a major thing, I figure. Today, alright, this kind of got in the way, but I've got the exercise thing happening too right now. In fact, bugger it, I'm going to punch out a bunch of push-ups right now. Hold on, I'll be back. Right, that's not too bad, not too bad. Right, there we go. See, having a decent level of fitness is an integral part of the machine, right? You've got to be pretty much on your game. The way I see it, for example, at any given time, say if some shit breed decide to attack you, just like that, and you've got to be able to defend yourself, right? At any time. At any time. And so I've always had that belief that at any time you might have to defend yourself. Yes, and then just help someone have a really bad day. that's where I see it to be. Right then, now, oh, we're gonna hit. Here's a hawk. Oi. Nice. He's a mountain. He is. Actually, that unit will be going to the Great Southern Land, and I can truthfully say it's been to the Mongol. Yeah. Yes. Future plans. Right, so these components I figured upon about a year and 3 months ago. I was like, righto, what do I need to do what I want to do? What do I need to do? Got to work on a number of things. So I've been honest with myself about, all right, what do I really need to do? Right? You know, not just half-ass it. I'm three-quarter-assing it. Because, you know, if I really put all my energies into something that I've never done in the entirety of my existence, I really could have pulled myself out of the shit that I came from. The sewer of youth that I came from. But I figured I'll just coast through, right? A spasmodic approach to work, as they wrote down in my always on my report card. Hey, take that. Outlived you. Yeah, because the way I see it, I've outlived quite a few people. I've known some people, they're not around anymore. I'm 55. I'm still looking alright, you know. This is when I'm a bit not exactly strong right at the moment, but I might have to defend myself. I've got that. That's okay. Throw that at them. So I figured, yeah, what am I going to have to do to sort of do a bit more than just three-quarter coasting, a bit more than just coasting to the finish line. What am I going to have to do? So I had to decide, all right, I've got to do, there's a bit more than I normally would expect myself to do so that I can get where I need to be. So there are a lot of there are a lot of plans of some really cool shit that's coming along, it's coming together, and it's coming together, it really is. Yo, daijoubu yo. So yo, daijoubu. She was ducking down under the camera. I'm just rambling anyways. So yeah, there's these the components. I really am putting stuff together. Let's grab that. Don't forget that. So I haven't been on the real stuff, because when you're on the real stuff, it makes you really lazy. Oh, there's those bugs. No, those cats have got a lot of opportune. There's a lot of stuff that they can eat. You know, I used to run along stuff like that at quite a speed and jump and do all that sort of stuff. And I figure if I do happen to ouchie poos myself and snap something, might not be a good idea. So I don't do that anymore. Like really rough, tall stuff in river systems and stuff, and you jump from one rock to another and cling on to it, all that kind of carpool. That's what that is. I saw a yacht out there earlier. So I'm working on this stuff, which led me to have recollection of, it was only just recently that this English bloke, he goes for walks in this park or whatever, and he's talking about, each day he's sober and he's doing this and that, and then he decides to, after 28 days, just to fail. Now, if you really want to do it, if you're really serious, it's possible. I love getting spasticated. Yeah. Oh, she's one of the ones that feed the cats, I'm sure. There's a crow over there. Yeah, see? The crow over there, he knows there's a feed coming. She's yeah, there you go. She's actually picked up one of the cats. That one, the big heavy one I saw. So she's friends with all those cats. There you go. It's awesome. I mean, what a spot they get. Hey, they've got this awesome spot. They live in there, and they come out, get a bit of a feed. Yeah, and they've got plenty of opportunity, like those mini fishies, flick them out, and they get a good feed around here. And all these bugs I see moving around. So if you really want it, right, what you got to do, because time goes by so fast, you can't believe how fast it is. I'm still like silly and youthful, but really I'm actually 55 years of age. I can't believe I got to this age so quickly. I'd be in my late teens and looking at these chaps in their mid-20s, late 20s, and these dudes are so much older than I. And these 40-year-old, I just saw a jumping fish, a Suzuki fish. I'd see these blokes at 40 and they were like dinosaurs. And I see the way the young people react to me when I'm in Australia. I was like, it's like I don't exist. I'm like, hey, I'm still young and silly and dumb. Hey, woohoo. They treat you differently. But time goes fast. It goes so quickly. It's just freaking bizarro how fast it goes. For me, I can't wait to die. Oh my. Then I won't have to deal with any shit anymore. Yeah. But anyways, but not by my hand. Maybe. Maybe if I'm old, I'm like, I just couldn't bother to be, I just couldn't be bothered to be me anymore. But that's long off. Oh, there's that jumping fish again. That's Suzuki. Because there's still some things I want to do. But the thing is, life goes by so fast. Time it's so fast. And so, with those that are struggling with the drink or whatever, and I proved it, didn't I? Just, I want to get sloshed today, but I'm not going to. It's like, if you want to, and you want to sort of pull your life back together and the components of your life, or at least improve it, right, and then get sloshed. He didn't come back out of the water. He's out there somewhere. So just go like this and just go, alright, plonk it down and get poop till such time as your structure of life is solid again, right? The foundation of your life is back together again. At least that's something that's sustainable. That's something I'd like to get to, sustainability of life. I guess the older you get, the more then you start running into health issues and all that sort of shit. Me being immortal and all, obviously, doesn't really matter. But there's that big cat, and the crow. He's just walking past the crow, and the crow doesn't even... He's not even fazed by that big cat. Because he knows that big cat is so well fed he couldn't be bothered having a punchy poos with the crow. That's... wow. That crow just goes along and... yeah. Alright, so anyways, I'm going to head back to the ranch. Yeah, so that's my thing to say to those that are struggling a bit. Time goes past really quickly, so just put it down for a while and go, righto, when I get my shit back together, then I can go out, then I can have a bit of a woohoo, and a bit of a yahoo, but just got to get to that point where you put your life back together. Yes, how's that for wisdom? Alright guys, right then, how do we do all this? How do we carry all this? Yeah, right, bit of key eye and all there, off they go. Right then, just reminded me of on the way back here, I was on the train. These inspectors get on and they're asking us all, oh, excuse me sir, may I see your ticket? No ticket. No, I had this computerized gadget majagged, and you have this my key card thing, and I had only just put some extra dough on it. I found out how you can you've got this app or something on your phone thingy-majiggy, the phone I use in Australia, and this app, and it can tell you how much you got left on your MyKey thing. So I actually had that knowledge, so I was able to recharge the thing digital currency wise. I don't like digital currency because you never get it back. You never get it. It's just these numbers, becomes these numbers. Anyways, there is some way where you can get your MyKey card back, money or whatever. Anyways, and this young guy on the train, the train was half full of carriage, and they get on to him, oh, you haven't paid, and he starts mumbling on about his social anxiety. He said, oh, I'm a bit stressed because my social anxiety. I'm thinking, balls. bullshit, you know, this young guy, he's just been cool. He goes, I don't want to have to pay a fine, and you know, I don't like paying on the bloody train either. Anyways, and then, I on the plane over here, nice enough lady and I, we sort of had a bit of a laugh when we got on the plane, and we had to walk past all the better people that pay like $5,000 or whatever for a ticket so they can have their own sort of booth on the train, on the plane. The plane, boss, the plane. And it was what was it called? What was the bloody airline again? Malaysian airline? What was it? Some bloody airline. I can't remember the airline. Anyways, it was yeah, Cathay Pacific. That's the one. And so out the front they had you know, these better people, and we sort of walked past, and we had a bit of a gag about that when we were sort of getting seated, and she said, yeah, they put them up the front so because they like seeing us walk by. You know, all us come. It turns out that she was a journalist, and I just happened to mention, well, mainstream media is just, you know, it's just an embarrassing dodo bird now. It turns out she teaches at like a uni or whatever, or did or whatever, and but my opinion of it's just because she was going to some big meet somewhere outside of New York, so she was flying to Hong Kong also, and from there we're parting ways, and it was kind of funny how, you know, my opinion on the thing, I said, you know, because she'd never heard of Rumble. I mean, you know, you just I didn't throw it at her, but I said, oh, yeah, I think you're pretty much out of the loop. If you want to be in the loop, you know, at least know about Rumble. She'd never heard of it. And she said, oh, maybe my students know about that. And but you know, the clincher for me was when she cited, she goes, oh, do you know of Rachel Maddow? She's good. Yeah, she's talking about personalities and you know, on the big screen. And I go, yeah, I've heard of her. They call her Richard Madcow. Citing that creature. I could have delved into some knowledge I have on that particular subject, but I didn't. Certain things, but I didn't. I just sort of kept it all. I didn't even school her at all. I thought, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to engage, because just be nice and have a bit of a jokey poos and whatever, and just keep it easy, because she's sitting right next to me. And you know, so, and then, you know, later on as she stood up and leaving, you know, because it was all well and good, and she said, oh, what's the situation with climate change in Japan, you know, what's how they feel about that, and, you know, all these talking points, you know. And now I'm thinking, God, talk about out of the loop. I can just school this creature. And this one is one of the leading minds that lead the minds, you know. Yeah. But no, I just knew that you just no. Oi! What's going on? So I just knew, no, I'll just keep it all light and sort of just keep it all light, you know. But yeah, I could have gone down the wormhole deep dive, but no, just don't. I just don't fucking care anymore, you know. Like politics or whatever, didn't go there. People sort of generally know not to steer there, and I don't give a hoo-ha about politicians heading to New York, right? So I don't give a damn about American politics, no. Just don't care. Some people, it's on their heads all the time, because certain people live, you know, upstairs in their mind at a constant. I don't give a, I don't give an F. you know, about any of that. It's here I am walking along with this. They know what this is. Isn't that funny? I should present that it's got the Yubing Koku tags on it, because it's it's quite bizarre. It's quite bizarre that I'm walking down here with this thing, but that's all groovy. Yeah, quite the laugh you get there. A journo that's clearly, you know, everyone knows where they sit. But it's so bizarre that many of them they've got their position, but they don't know about other positions. So they're dodo birds. Just dodo birds. Anyways, I suspect personally the whole thing about Rumble is all about to weed out those, you know, all the cool people that got kicked off, and now they're getting back on this particular this YouTubey thing. So many of them are allowed back on again now, because they're like, oh, because wealth is God. Anyways, to some, and so, but the thing is, I reckon that Rumble is the real truth. Is yeah, I don't care. I reckon it's all just a weed out and scan comments, know where people stand, you know, it's just all an attack really. Controlled opposition, all this sort of thing. Personally, I'm 55 now. I don't care. There's other things that take my interest, that are far from the world of dirty politics and the filth that run the world, and their tactics, and getting people to hate on other people and kick back and laugh about, and you know, running certain countries and having white people attack white people, and yeah, I know wanting to keep it going. All manner of things are going on in the world, and have done for such a long span, which is an interesting subject. I don't fucking care. Oh, look, an acorn. You know, I don't fucking care. Nope. I don't care. This is all a rejuvenation forest. A forest of rejuvenation. The rejuvenated one is waltzing through this particular forest. Ah, he's up and coming again. And you know what they say about the one that sticks out? They go, I don't care. You've been doing that to me all my life. and look, you still can't stop me. I guess people are just going to have to recognise and realise at some stage that they've wasted so much of their own existence trying to crush me. I'm just going to outlive them. And imagine that you get to a point where you're like, oh man, all this time I've been trying to destroy that guy and I can't. We can't. Be like that, eh? Just resilience, you know, just don't allow yourself to be crushed. You know, I think we've got one more waltzy poos through here before there's a spot where it doesn't go through. So I've got one more, and in fact I was on the drinky poos walking through. I've done that many a time in the dark, no lights, no nothing, just don't need it. And I've proved that many times. And I find my way to a fence. And there was this couple walking along. It was in the middle of the night. It's like midnight, and summertime. And I just go, oh, can you hold my beer on the other side of the fence? And I flick over, and you know, they're like, yeah, no worries. And then I said, oh, see you later. We had a bit of a laugh, and I'll see you later. And then when I was at the beach chatting with someone I knew like further up, about half hour away, and now the wolfman was like, oh, there you are. And so this gaijin just comes out of the forest at the middle of the night. In the middle of the night. Right then, yeah, see, we've still got some trail. So has it gotten to the point where politics and the dirtiness of it all is passé? People have had enough of it. Isn't that amazing? Like, there's certain things that people just fed up with now. And that fad's gone. Yes, quite a number of fads that I certainly didn't agree with, shall we say. They're coming to a close too, and a whole bunch of creatures like, oh god, what have I done to myself? Yeah, dickhead. But yeah, that's happened for a lot of creatures that were influenced and suckered into believing certain things. It's starting to sound like I care again. No, I don't. Ah, this is nice. So I figure, back in the day, right, I used to have this concept, which I was doing. It was 6 months on, 6 months off. Follow the weather. Gepu. That was the plan. And yeah, I did that a lot. And then when all that destructive stuff of the world happened, those plans, spanners were thrown into the gearbox on that one. But I'm back at it again. Yeah. What's that say? Hebi Mukademi. That one. Right then. So yeah, I'm back to that. That's happening again. I formulated some rudimentaries of infrastructure in Australia again. So I've got that in the motions, which is that's a component of what I had planned, like my plans that I formulated a year and 3 months ago of what I need to do, and that's have some kind of stranglehold, some hold of my my culture, Australia. And what it does, this Asia will drive you insane, and so it's really good for the mind to head back to your own land, your own culture, your own language, all that stuff. It's more than just every now and again, in regularity, really. And that's really good for your mind, because Asia will fuck your head up. You know, being from a totally different culture, you know, that's real. And so I believe it's of great importance that you should have some contact with your culture, and I'm going to take a slash, and make sure that that's happening in regularity. Yeah. And then you'll be able to handle this place a lot easier. Right, hang on. Let me just pull out my evil stick and the fire hydrant. Hang on. Right. I had to pull out the evil stick and go all fire hydrant style. Anyways, right then. Ruminations. So the gig with Australia now is that I'll put those components together, which is something I also mapped out, planned, you know. So when I head back there, I could head back there tomorrow, like literally. There's work there waiting for me. Work translates into food. But there's some things I need to do, I want to do, should I say, here, in order to make it by far more, even more worthwhile with my time, because what we have is time really, when I'm back in the great southern land. So this for instance. So there's all sorts of things I'm going to do whilst I'm here, in order to not waste time when I'm in Australia, because I found that my weekends, although I could have become like an air tasker or something like that, I am registered with the air tasker people. Yeah, basically for the weekends, much of it I wasn't doing a whole lot. Some of the I cleaned out I've got a 20-foot container there in a place, and I cleared all that out, ready for stuff, and my little operation down there was still ticking along. It just needed to be cleaned up, so that's ticking along. That's okay. I'm gonna have to do something about this fucking tax thing and all that sort of stuff. So anyways, so I'm gonna go all the gathering, and so when I'm in Australia I'll be doing a considerable amount of stuff in a short space of time, really. But I don't know, I reckon I'll do another long stint. Who knows, I might stay for a full year, you know, and do a short stint here. Don't know, haven't got all the options are there. And another great thing is these the work I was doing, these probably go through there. They've got some real nice roads through there. Or just go around the thingy-majiggy. See, in there, you go through there, it just becomes a fence. Now, there's the work I was doing. There's these other companies that are like, oh, why don't you come and work for us? There's that, right? So, and I sort of like where I was, because I know what I'm doing. Although these other mobs are saying, oh, we can pay more. I like the fact that I know what I'm doing. I know a lot of these places where I'm going to. I know how the systems work, you know, so the stress of that's all gone, and I'm sort of experienced enough with that mob that I can sort of, I believe, push to do the kind of work I want to do, and just shun the work that I don't want to do. That's sort of where I want to be, because I want to do what I want to do. Always. I'll always push for that, to try to be a free and continue to be a free slave, because I was born into servitude. So I always wanted to be a free slave, and I always push for it, for freedom. Right? And that's what I always push for. But anyway, so I've got that set up in Australia so that I can go there at any time. Should we go there? I don't really want to do the mountain thing. Can't remember if that... Yeah, that road goes around the back of that, doesn't it? I think so. Yeah, and you come out the other side of that tunnel, I think. Anyways, I've mainly done this road when I'm drunk, so I can't really remember it that well. Shit, I'm gonna walk up there. Is there a road to the right? There bloody better be. Oh, stupid bloody drunken brain. Right, so I've got that componentry going on once again, which I used to have, right? That used to try this one. So what I used to have back in the day before the world went to shit, I used to have a setup in Australia. Things sort of, anyways, when I got back there, turns out that my ute, my car, and all my tools, which I was planning on, getting a job in a factory using tools and shit like that, all my camping gear, which I plan on just living out of the car until I sort myself out, if need be, or just stay at my bro's place, whatever. Anyways, I had these plans, and seeing my car was stolen, yeah, that really fucked that up, yeah. So, isn't that amazing, like, the difference between what my country has become, it's just, yeah. Anyways, so Australia for me now is a good source of income. So at least I've got that componentry worked out. Like, this is not bloody working now, is it? Isn't there a road that goes over the... I don't want to walk up that hill. Oh, stupid bloody hills. So I've got that all in place now. So that's good. Alright. So I can go back to Australia at any time, and then got that sorted out. My visa status in this country is good enough to sort of keep that ball rolling. And I've been here long enough that the whole permanent visa thing could be a possibility when this bloke that is involved in the gov with visas and bloody blahs. He said to me years ago, this is when things were really struggle time, when the world went to shit, and he said to me, the only thing that's holding you back is your financial situation. If you were to try to go that route with say the perm residency. So I was like, oh yeah. So I've got to work on that. And at the time, things were really difficult, survival and all. So I figured I'll work on that. So that's what I've been doing. Oh, this is going to be fun. Stupid bloody hill roads. Bloody I want to live over here. I might take my t-shirt off. I think that this is going to go for a long way. Should we just run it that way or that way? Stupid bloody. I'll get my t-shirt off and run up there. Hang on. Well, that could have been easier. Oh, okay. This is going to end up in an exercise of futility, isn't it? Stupid bloody mountain hill things. Right then. We shall continue. Right then. Go like that and do. Now, oh great. Keeps going up. Oh, you could have gone to that maybe that would have been easier. Yeah. Okay. A jolly waltz. That's what it is. But the thing is, it could very well be an exercise in futility. Yeah. So I didn't exactly plan to do this today, hopefully it'll go down. The other side of... Tell you what, physically though, not bad. Some bloke's got a caravan, a little site up here. Okay, now, yes, look at that. Okay, oh shit. You're going down, but not, you're going that way, not that way, you stupid bloody road system designer. Oh shit. Oh, there's hope. There's a left turn down there. I've even got a brand of cigarettes in this country called Hope. Had to go into the city yesterday to the Australian consulate that isn't. I figured I just waltzed in there. I did so years ago. And the governor-y, consulatal, generally doody-woody, and pick up some tax return forms, I think they call them, something like that. And turns out that that branch is closed. So, because there's very few Australians in the city. Oh, don't go down, go that way, you bloody bullshit, stupid. Anyways, it's not working out too bad, I guess. It is still going this way. So that was closed. So, like, what I could have done, just like earlier, I could have pulled out my little mobile phone and looked at these roads, and then I wouldn't be doing this. But I'm not that smart, am I? So I could have just jumped on the internet instead of going into town and just ordered those things online, which I ended up having to do last night. But hey, that's not exactly how I roll. I try to reduce my dependence upon tech, and that's why I'm so stupid. Anyways, I noticed I was walking around. I figured I'll just go for a bit of a walk anyways, and there's all these new buildings and whatever being brought up. Not that I care about buildings, but anyways. And there was this place that we used to go to, and they sold booze, and I figured maybe they've got some zero boozers. And they're all still there, these people. They've got a piano in there, and sometimes musos show up, and you can use their stuff. It's really cool. And they sell all kinds of cigars and rolled tobacco, and they used to sell quite a bit of foreign booze, but they mostly wine and sake, that sort of stuff. That bloody thing yelling at me. Laughs. He's up there on that post just laughing at me, going all Kookaburra style. And so this chap was in there and was chatting to him about it. I said, oh, he hasn't seen me in ages. And I noticed in Australia there's certain brands of rolled tobacco that and the tax, there's the Fukuoka Tower right up there, that thingy-majiggy. And this tax on alcohol and tobacco tax is really, really high. In fact, this rolled tobacco, I was looking at, the same brand, probably doesn't have as much in it. But I heard tell it's like $150 now for this rolled tobacco. Wouldn't bloody surprise. Here we go. This is looking promising. Right, and here the equivalent of $15. You know, so there's a certain amount of, like, there's all those tobacco wars or whatever going on in Australia, and illegal tobacco, bizzo or whatever. But there's a certain amount that you can take back, right? Now, I'm not exactly in the business of selling stuff that's harmful. You know, I'm not really into that idea. But I figured having a rollie every now and again, I don't know, or a cigar or something every now and again. If you're rich enough, like say Schwarzenegger, he's had what, 3 heart transplants or bypasses or whatever. So, you know, you could buy a few packs of those. So I think you're allowed to carry what, 4 packs or a certain amount or whatever, and that'd be like $600 worth of tobacco. You know, no wonder you've got these illegal tobacco worry whatever thingamajiggies. I do know this road. I do. Probably comes out to a bridge or something down there. See, I walk everywhere in my drunkenness. There was an Inoshishi when I walked up here in the middle of the night. An Inoshishi is a wild boar, bloody big one it was, and about here, yeah, years ago, and it was just him and I at midnight. Yeah, true. Yeah, that's true. Yes, so there is some recollection of this road. See, I knew there was some kind of building houses down there spot. Right. So yeah, today's I'm gonna have to come up with a, see if I could use some techo. I could probably just call bridge. See, I knew it. Doesn't go past the tunnel's there, so it went past that hospital over there. At least we can go in there and say, hey, let me in. Right. Just doing some reminiscence of here. Remember jogging through there. I jogged this. Yeah, up here. And was on some train of thought back there. Who cares? No one cares about my stories anyways. And yeah, I was jogging through this section when I was quite a bit fitter, I would say. Bloody hell. And with my 70s looking headband and what's his name? I was thinking of some famous aerobics dude from the 70s wearing those headbands. Richard Simmons. I've got Richard on the freaking line now. Look at all the graffiti, man. It's once we're warriors again. Warriors. Come down. Hey. Oh, no, it's none of that. 7/4 gear, a downwind, downforce draft. Right, now, so I didn't really get very far because that bloody stupid road, still he's like, oh, cross that. Need to get over there. He, yeah, that bloke that was banging on about his, boozing on and all, and I was thinking, oh yeah, when he went to the gym, you know, it's like, and I was thinking just how freaking boring that is. And it's like, you know, how they say it in England, they say, a miserable twat. You don't want to be miserable. If you're gonna like get fit, get healthy, or not be on the boozer or whatever, you gotta be happy too, or at least strive for it. Because I've got that belief that strive for happiness. If you fall in contentment, strive for happiness. If you fall into contentment, you've won. Now, so you know you got to work on the concepts of doing it for a reason, you know, and being bloody happy and shit. It's very, very difficult to get there, but so you got to be I reckon you've got to be doing that for a bloody good reason too. I reckon we've got a real good chance. Yeah, he's gonna move, and I will too. There were some chaps that were playing golf here at one stage, and it was a really nice spot, and then they banned that. They ban every fun you can have here. Now, carry this, drink this, bang on about some bullshit. So yeah, you gotta, I reckon, if you're gonna bother to be sober, be on a sober binge, work toward the components, like certain components in life, especially when you're young, for example. I reckon you gotta, when you're young, you need to have some form of, to be able to obtain, utilise your sweat to obtain food, to fill your guts, a decent job that you perform with utilising, and you exchange, in exchange it's for your time and effort, right? So to give your time, you're better off, if you're in some shit job, like I've done all the Mongol jobs, you're in some shit low paying job with that give you shit hours, so you have no possibility of a social life, or you know, you got all these components of shit about that, just that one element, right? Get out of it. Just get out of it. Work towards getting out of it, because that's your time, right? So there's that. When you're young and all components are together, you've got to have somewhere that's close enough to reside to this joint that gives you food in the end, right? You've got to have that. And you've got to have an ability, you've got to be earning enough, exchanging your time, to be able to financially get somewhere. If you're just paying the bills, you're not getting anywhere, and that's not, it's better, easier said than done, right? There's that component. Now, the reason I say when you're young, because you want that relationship too, not a toxic one, the ones that work, and a good looking bird that you're with. So yeah, I can't say, but you know, so you've got that element too. So you've got all these components that are really important when you're young. When you get a bit on a bit, back in my day, son. When you get on a bit, some things are not that important. Like, it's true that I've had a whole slew of good-looking girlfriends in my life. It's true. Now I'm all banged up. It's true. But so what? But so it's not that important to me to have that relationship and all that build-up, because that takes your time. And when you realise you're starting to run out of time, I haven't realised that yet because I'm too stupid, you find that your time, not really matters to me, but it seems for some people, time is very important to them now. And being at my age now and being single, which I have done for years, because there's so many people in my life, all throughout my youth and all that, I just never, ever had that opportunity to just do what I want to do on a whim. I just, anytime, and not be beholden to anything, you know, just do whatever I want to do, which is, it's not perfect, and I'm not exactly there yet, but to just do and not be beholden to anything would be excellent. Not owe anything, which would be excellent, and just sort of any freaking time you want, just to do whatever you want. This is probably not coming through due to the wind anyways, but windage. But yeah, so some components when you're young are not as important when you're older. It's like being able to be free is freaking awesome, right? That's freaking awesome, having your time to do whatever the frick you want. Now that's a good goal for when you're older. But you don't leave it like. Some people go, I'll work my ass off now, exchange my youth, and then I get to retire someday. What a stupid idea that is. Because then you're freaking old and you can't do anything. That's stupid. So do all the fun shit when you're young. Oh yes. which I did. Just do. It doesn't matter if you're poor when you're 60, 70, whatever. Providing you can look back and go, oh man, I did that. And you see all these boring people going, they never did it. They never got to do it. That's the big difference. But they're not poor. Most people that I ever knew, they're all millionaires now. They're all freaking millionaires now. So there is that. There is that. Oh well. Anyways, so components. Figure out what you really need, and just sort of work towards making it happen. Just every day must count. Yeah, you got to do something important every day. Like every day, something important has to get done. It's going to get further toward your goal.
Elemental forces caused the egg to hatch. From it then came a stone monkey. The nature of monkey was irrepressible.